Hello, Michelle. How's everything going with you today?
Good, Lindsay. How are you?
Awesome. I'm so excited to be here to talk a little bit about traveling and big trips. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am excited because you and I, we both love to travel.
Oh, yes.
And I think like we're the same in that way. Like we feel, I don't know,
Yeah, we
to
are.
me, it's so weird. I feel like when I get off the plane in a new place, I feel like I can breathe better. Is that a weird thing to say?
Oh, no, that makes total sense to me, Michelle. I mean, you can think more clearly, you can breathe better. It's like it's almost like it's a complete refreshment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally that, exactly. So
Yeah.
when was the last time you went on a big trip, Lindsay? I know you had a big one kind of recently.
My last big trip, and this was a big one, was my trip to Argentina
Uh-huh.
in November, and that was a
Mm.
huge trip. We did the wineries in Mendoza, we did Patagonia in the South, which I had never been to, and then we did Buenos Aires, of course. It was great. What about you, Michelle?
Ooh, not since real I mean, I went to Vegas. That was like the yeah, but and then we've been taking little trips because I had a baby, we had the global health
Yeah, of
crisis.
course.
So I haven't been anywhere since like I haven't been out of the country since before all of that started.
Yeah,
But I am hoping to go somewhere soon. Lindsay,
amazing.
do you when you go on a trip, do you ever like to meet up with people who maybe
I
live in
love
that
it.
place? Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think honestly for me, I mean, everyone has different values when it comes to traveling, but if I only had 24 hours in a city, I would
Yeah.
not run around trying to see the sites and check them
Yeah.
off my list. Although it would be hard. If you're in a famous place like Paris, you of course have to see the Eiffel Tower, but I would see it on my way to someone's house.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would feel satisfied I could leave, right? So that to me is traveling, right? You know, it reminds me of the time I went to Paris and I was actually able to meet with our one of our amazing listeners, Layla.
Oh,
And
wow.
you know Layla,
I do.
Michelle, met with her and had dinner at her house.
Oh, wow. That is
It was
awesome.
fantastic. Yes, in Paris. It was great. Yes.
I love those experiences because I like to pretend I always when I travel somewhere, I think, what would it be like to live in this place? That's how I travel. That's what makes me feel excited, not necessarily seeing 100 tourist attractions. So
Yes.
I think I'm similar in that way. When we went to India for our honeymoon, we went for a wedding, and the couple, they had their family lived there, and so we
Yeah.
got to go to their place for dinner and have those.
Oh,
And
amazing.
like, to me, those are just the best experiences to get to really kind of immerse yourself for a little while, pretend what is it like, so that's what I
Oh,
love.
yeah, that really is how you learn the nuances of a culture.
Yeah.
You know, tours are great, museums are great, but you don't really learn what the culture really is,
Yeah.
right? The way people really live. And to me, I mean, of course, all there's English, we are all about connection, not perfection. So it makes
Mhm.
sense that we want to
Yeah.
connect with human beings when we travel.
That's right, that's right. So, I mean, here's a question. How, for our listeners, if they are traveling, and you want to tell someone, oh, that you're traveling somewhere, maybe you would like to meet up.
Yes.
That's what we're going to talk about today. When you
Yes.
have this opportunity, how can you share it with someone? And
Yeah.
guys, we also have a very special and exciting announcement later in the episode about something with Lindsay and traveling because she's coming to
Yes.
you. One of your cities, Lindsay is
One of
coming to
your
you.
cities I will be in. I know. I'm so excited. I'll be traveling a little bit this spring. And some of our listeners live in this mystery city. And so I'm excited to make this announcement a little bit later in the episode once we build our skill and we learn how to actually ask this. But Michelle, I just realized this is also a great skill for business English
Oh,
because many times we're sent on a business trip. And what
yeah.
better way to
Ooh.
spend our time than after our work is done or our conference is done to call our friend or let our friend know that we'll be in their city. Would you like to have dinner? Just getting away from the business piece of the trip, right?
Right, right, exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. So this is huge for business, for leisure travel, whatever it is. Guys, we want to direct you. We did a episode 1900 of All Ears English was how to tell someone you'll be visiting their neighborhood in English.
Ah,
Yes, and this
nice.
episode talked about a similar topic, but it was also kind of telling someone you're nearby or asking someone where they live or what to do where they live. So that's a
Okay.
little bit different. We teach some different skills there. So go on and listen to that one as well.
Yeah, I love that these 2 episodes can come together as a pair, right?
Yes.
How to tell someone you'll be in their exact neighborhood. That's very close to home, literally close to home, right? That's right in your neighborhood.
Right.
That's about coffee shops, that's about specific things. This is about cities, right? World cities, US, any cities that we're moving between. Yeah?
Yeah, this is about traveling, being in an area also where you definitely want to see someone. That one, we were also
Yeah.
talking about maybe you went to someone's neighborhood and you're, oh, you live there, right? Right, like that kind of a thing.
Yep,
So this is like
yep,
really
yep.
good also for a lot of big travel. So,
Ooh.
Lindsay, what's the first thing you could say?
Okay, so guys, here's your first phrase. Write this one down next time you take a trip. I'll be heading to X in X. So I'll be heading to New York in the spring. Okay.
Really? No.
Michelle, I would, of course, let you know. I haven't been to New York in a while since before the health crisis, but I'm definitely itching for another trip.
Yes, yes. Okay, good. Well, that would be great. So I'll be heading to blank in blank, right? I'll be
Yeah.
heading to California in June. Whatever it is, fill in the blanks.
Michelle, this is
Um,
a nice bonus for today, heading, right? Or maybe it's one of our
yeah,
keywords,
heading
right?
to.
Be heading somewhere. How is that different in feeling and tone from going to?
I think just off the bat, I think like there's like some like momentum in it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
ask
know,
you
like,
tough
because I'm
questions.
thinking of, like, the head going forward,
My
even though
head's
that's
going
not
up.
what it is. I think I think it's just a little bit different, more what do you think?
Yeah, I always spring these questions on you here, and I don't know the answer, right, when I ask them. I'm just thinking of but, I think it's a little more casual, right? A little more
Yeah,
casual, a little more conversational, a little more, like, less pressure on the person, like, "I'm going to your city in
yeah.
this month." That's a little, direct in a way, right? When
It is
we use the
yes.
textbook words, we become very direct.
Right, true, I'm going to this is more you're right, it does kinda have a kind of a cooler vibe, I think.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
friendly, more connection although, of course, you can say, "I'm going to
Yes,
New York," or "I'm going to be in New York," but let's keep going and see what else we have
let's
here
do
in
it.
our phrases. Mhm.
So this one is I decided to do a little bit of a fun one.
Okay.
I'm planning on taking a trip to your backyard soon.
Yeah, I love it.
So backyard, this is, sometimes we use to say someone's backyard like just their general area. Like it's kind of a different way to say I'll be in your city. Like especially if you're coming from a faraway place. You could say like I'll be in your backyard, right? Even though you're not
Yeah,
actually in their backyard because that would be pretty weird.
that would be weird. It gives the feeling that the person is gonna think, "Oh, you're gonna be very close to them physically." This reminds me for some reason of when we talked about Al Roker in your neck of the woods, and I
Yes.
don't know why it's bringing up,
Right, well, that's what that was the other
from the
episode.
other episode. Yeah.
Right, exactly, in your neck of the woods, and we talked about it, I think, sounding like a little stalkery and, like, just but if you're saying it in a way, guys, we don't hopefully, most people don't mean in your backyard.
No, not literally, right? Does
Right.
this work for big cities too? Like huge world capitals? Does that
Um,
work, would you say, if someone's in Tokyo, would I say that to them? What do you think?
ooh, if it's, like, super big, it might be better for, like, a slightly smaller place. What do you think?
I think it definitely kinda conveys a sense of countryside a little
Yeah.
bit, something more familiar. So, maybe not the best for big cosmopolitan cities, but
Yeah.
for towns,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the next one, we're gonna use this word vicinity. Lindsay, what is if I'll say I'll be in your vicinity?
A very fancy word today, Michelle. Fancy. Um, I'll be in your general vicinity soon. So, area. This means area. And we see this a lot on signs, instructions, stay within the vicinity.
Mhm.
That is a more technical term, I think. Right?
Right, right. But I could hear it like, oh, we'll be in your vicinity, like, in,
Hmm.
in kind of a cute way. Or you could be super casual and say, I'll be close by.
I love it. I'll be close by. Also great. I'll be close by. Yes. Okay. So that's the first part, Michelle, right? Letting them
Mhm.
know that you'll be in their city. Now, what's the next
Mhm.
piece?
Well, now, if you just say, "I'll be close by,"
Weird.
and then you're done, right? Okay, I'm just gonna be standing there, and do I wanna see you? No. So you wanna throw out your feelers about if somebody would like to actually meet up with you. So what's something you could say?
Okay. I'd love to make some plans if you are available. Right?
Mhm.
Nice.
Or I really wanna see you. When are you free?
Yes, okay, and that really would be reserved for one-on-one, right? Not talking to a group necessarily, and someone you're close to, like a best
Right.
friend, maybe your college roommate, that you're still
Mhm.
close with, right, Michelle? That conveys, "I really wanna see you," like,
Right.
real emotion, yeah?
Right, 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 right. Or you could say, I'm going to be X on X. Can you meet me? So, for example, you could say, I'm going to be taking a tour of the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower. Okay, my thing got messed up. I'm going to be taking a tour of the Empire State Building on the 31st at 3. Can you meet me? So that's very specific. Like I have this plan. Would you like to join, or could you meet me, at the spot?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a coffee afterwards.
And everyone loves someone that just kinda takes charge in that way, right? Just say what you're doing. Do you wanna come
Right.
along? And then that tells you a lot about, how much the person likes you because if they can't, if they're working or something and then they don't suggest another time, maybe that's not a relationship that's really all that important to the person. So we can learn a lot by nailing down a date, I think, and
Right.
time. Yes.
Right. You wanna
Mhm.
give us one more, Lindsay?
All right, let's plan to meet up at X, right? Or at some famous
Mhm.
restaurant. Let's plan to meet up near the theater. Okay. Yeah. So picking a meeting point, right, Michelle? Okay, Michelle. All right. What's next? What do we need to let our listeners know about here? What are we doing?
Well, we have an exciting announcement. Lindsay is going to be in someone's backyard, but not their actual
In
backyard.
someone's backyard.
Unless you invite them to
Guys.
your she's invited to your backyard for dinner, maybe.
No. All right. So, what
Where
I
are you
want to make a
going?
special announcement today is, guys, this spring in the month of May, I'll be visiting Cairo, Egypt. I am so
Ah!
excited to go to Egypt. And I'm looking forward to seeing the city, going down south, seeing the pyramids, and hopefully going to the Red Sea as well.
Wow.
So, I want to take this opportunity to let you guys know, I'll using the phrases we said today, I'll be heading to Egypt in May, to Cairo in May, and I would love to meet some listeners for an All Ears English dinner. Right? That's what I would like to do.
Wow. Oh
So
my gosh.
and I've been lucky enough, like I said, to meet Layla for dinner in Paris. And we've been able to meet some of our listeners in New York City, Boston, and Tokyo. But I would like to meet more listeners, Michelle. So I envision a few of us at a restaurant together. You guys can hear my awful Arabic that I'm learning very slowly
Oh,
and
wow.
very poorly. So, guys, drop me an email if you live in Cairo. I already have one person that I have been messaging with. My email is Lindsay at allearsenglish.com. That's Lindsay at allearsenglish.com. And I will let you know the exact dates that I'll be in Cairo. So good.
Amazing. Oh, that'll be so great. That's so exciting, Lindsay. Guys, definitely go meet Lindsay in Cairo.
Amazing. So excited. All right, Michelle, should we dive into a role play for our listeners?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Hey, Michelle, guess what?
What?
Well, I'm planning a trip on taking a trip to your backyard soon. I'll be there the 13th through the 17th.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I really want to see you. When are you free?
Well, I'm free on the 14th.
Amazing. I'm going to be seeing a show on the 14th. Can you meet me?
Yes, let's do dinner before.
I can't wait. And that works out perfectly, right? If they already have plans, you can kind of sneak a meeting in before or after a key plan that they have because maybe they don't have extra tickets or something for the show, but you could always have dinner before. So smart, right?
It can be a little stressful to make these plans sometimes. So I think
It,
having some direction, like, yeah, do you ever sometimes like I've been to cities where I know multiple people and it's like so exciting and
yeah.
sometimes though it gets a little bit like, how am I going to make all of this work?
It's true. I think you have to really nail down plans ahead of time. If you kinda say, "Oh, yeah, we'll connect when I'm there, we'll figure it out," then the weekend could
Yeah.
go by and then you haven't seen the person. You just have to say, "Okay, this restaurant, this time," that kind of thing. So,
Right, right, right. Exactly. I think that's a good point. So let's go through this. What did you
alright.
say?
I'm planning on taking a trip to your backyard soon, right?
Okay.
So again, I don't use that too much. Do you use that, your backyard, Michelle? I mean, is
I
this
hear it a
common?
lot. I hear it a lot.
Interesting. Hmm, okay.
But I mean not too much. I do hear it. So I thought that
Cool,
it was a
okay.
good one to teach
Like it.
because people just so you know that people don't hopefully mean in your actual backyard.
Yes, again, keep in mind, I'm not gonna be in your backyard physically.
Right.
What's the next one that I said, Michelle?
Okay, then you said I really want to see you. When are you free?
Mhm, and it seems like we're probably pretty close, right?
Mhm.
We know each other well. And then I said, "Amazing. I'm gonna be seeing a show on the 14th. Can you meet me? Can you meet me?" Right?
Yep.
Nice. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
so we're gonna be able to make plans and it'll be great. So yeah, you were able to connect with me. You told me that you were gonna be there. I was excited. We made our plans. We're good.
So good, good stuff. Well, what's our takeaway for today? I mean, first of all, email me if you live in Cairo and you want to have dinner. I'm like I said, out at a restaurant is perfect. We don't need to go to anyone's home necessarily, right? That's not what I'm asking for. What I'm asking for is let's get together and have dinner together, right? Let's enjoy. And what's another takeaway from today's episode?
Okay, well, use these when you are traveling and you're making plans because this is really good connection skill. It would be obviously if you don't really want to see the person, don't tell them.
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course.
But
Yeah.
I think it's a good connection skill to be able to say in a fun way. We taught you some kind of fun, cool ways to say this. So try them out, and we wish you loads of good traveling.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind what travel's about when you travel. Again, it's about people, I think. I guess people can have different opinions on this, but at the end of the day, what are you going to remember? Are you going to remember that 10th museum or
Yeah.
are you going to remember the dinner with your local
Oh,
friend, right? For
I'm
me,
I'm
it's a
with I'm with
no-brainer,
you,
Michelle.
Lindsay.
It's a
Yeah,
no-brainer, but yeah.
yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a great trip, and I can't wait to hear who you meet up with.
I know, I'm so excited. Good stuff. All right, Michelle, thanks for coming on the mic with me today. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye guys. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.